you got to look around at your circle of those who you call your closest friend. Because you can be certain of one thing. One of them will betray you. And I know you're saying that's rough, but are you any better than Jesus? Jesus had to go down that same road. And the very one who was with him along the journey was the very one who sold him out. And so not only do we pray for Deborah, but we need to pray that the right Deborahs find their way.
All right now.
And here's the second thing. Sometimes the Deborahs fight alongside you on the front lines, but mostly they cover you with prayer from a distance. And I love the NFL, and I can't wait T-minus 2 months and counting to see my beloved get back on the field. I ain't calling no names, so I ain't trying to make nobody upset. But I realized that one of the most important positions on the field is that of the right or left tackle. And if you know anything about football, most of the time it's the left tackle because most quarterbacks are right-handed. And the right tackle and the left tackle are so important because they watch the blind side of the quarterback. The most important person on the field to a quarterback is not his receivers, is not his running back, is not the center, but the most important person is the person that blocks his blind side when he turns to make a pass. And I want to let you know that in life we need some strong left and right tackles who don't mind looking out for our blind sides. Now I remember telling my son this when he was younger. You know, he wanted to be one of the flashy positions in Little League, because in Little Leagues the linemen don't get a lot of attention, but in Little Leagues it's the running backs and the quarterback, and those are the two cherished positions. But I remember telling him, do you know who is the highest paid players on teams in the NFL? It is the left and right tackles, because they have the most important positions. They don't get all of the attention. They don't get all the shine. They're not going to be on ESPN all the time. But the truth is, they are the most cherished because they watch the person who has the ball. You may be a Deborah now and don't even realize it. And you are there to protect what God is trying to do for them and in and through them. And they cannot be what they need to be if it's not for you doing your job effectively. And sometimes it doesn't take your Deborah to be right there on the front line fighting with you. Sometimes your Deborah needs to be praying. Sometimes your Deborah needs to be making some phone calls. Sometimes your Deborah needs to be pulling some people's cards who are on their way to try to take you out. Sometimes your Deborah needs to be tackling folk before they get to you on the other side of the street. Your Deborah has a duty to make sure that you get from one point to another and get there all in one piece. Now I'm going to turn on the other side of the street, but sometimes we need a Deborah to protect us from ourselves. We are most vulnerable to shooting ourselves in the foot when we're riding the crest of a wave with the puffing out of our chest, particularly in the occasions where we are susceptible to the puffs of evil. Sometimes we can get so full of ourselves that we need a Deborah to help us guard against ourselves.